You are watching Minuteman Matt.
Hello, what's up? We're back with another Tiny Tina's Wonderlands video. I've been meaning to do this build video for a while, but at least I'm going to do it before Wonderlands 4 launches. And you'll see the demonstration of the build before I do this, going over the build. But I'll put some text to skip to the build portion. I can do that through the channel marks on the for the video, but and here's my myth rank. Notice I don't have the myth rank up this high on the PS5 version. That's where I had my myth rank. So I'm recording this on the PS4 version, but I'll try to get back to that up on the PS5 version. But here's the weapons. We go on the frost Feriores are going to be the main. You don't want the pixies because the crossbows don't do spell damage. Whatnots can also be pixies, but those don't do spell damage. But before the enchantment, I want to on reload. The companion recovers 8% health and has also the 50% increase on the critical hit chance, which is nice because these don't necessarily hit the crit spots, and we want the ones that do spell damage. Blast gas is the reason. And I got mage staff with action skill active elemental damage by 35%. And we'll be doing the frost damage most of the time anyway, and also we'll be doing dark magic damage because we have the Graveborn. And we go over the master room. This should be obvious for companion builds, pixie builds especially, but you can also use the curse wit as well. I have on action skill start increased damage dealt by 20% for 20 seconds. I don't have a frost damage frenzy draft, but this is a dark magic Graveborn. This one that's a purple. That's why I want frenzy draft that has the frost damage, but it has the action skill's cooldown rate and all damage dealt. That one only has all damage dealt. The best bet is in all the double all that damage dealt. That goes for most builds, but action skill cooldown rate is also nice. Because there'll be times when we won't have the action skill up. In the spell Buffmeister, this is a dark magic one. I recommend the frost one, but dark magic ones are good as well because we get boosted dark magic damage for the Graveborn. Now the enchantment for ASA frost damage. Zap and pop. You're gonna want zap. Zap and gel you're gonna want, but pew is also good as well because you load fast with the pew. So all buff might just come with movement speed bonuses. Yeah, we got a primary warp paradigm. The best one to get is the ascended warp paradigm. You want the gray one, the bottom does not matter. You want one that has points in the blast gas. And you're gonna want the melee and ability damage increased by 35% for the spell damage. All damage dealt, spell damage, ability damage, those will be the best. Movement speed is also good too, but that isn't not necessary for maximum damage, because we're not playing the Stabomancer in this build. Yeah, and we're gonna want one to spell damage on the rings. Ability damage is also good too, and you want to spell critical hit damage and stuff. Pistol's also good because we're throwing the pistols and they benefit from critical hit damage from the pistols. ×2 would be bad, but if you're playing on PS4, it's gonna drag down the performance. Also, you probably want the shotgun pixies, but again, for the PS4, that's gonna lag your game a bit, and sometimes it won't even do damage, because whatever reason. Kind of like the crossblade and such, and sometimes we'll go through the enemies and not do it. Less of a problem on the PS5. Yeah, and I do have a PS5 now. And we're gonna go over the skill then. Skill tree. We're not using any of the Brr-zerker's action skills, because you can't even shoot your guns in Dreadwind, and Pale Surge is not gonna help. And Ancestral Frost, that's going to be very good. We'll be doing frost damage all the time. We don't need the melee damage. We don't even need unyielding, because survival is so good on this build anyway. Icebreaker is really good. Close to enemy is being fully frozen, more damage is increased. You can't really freeze a boss, but I believe it still works. It just can't freeze the boss though. The old ways, if we're getting close to the enemy, we do extra damage, which is real nice. You don't want to be too close to with the pixies, otherwise the pixies probably won't shoot the enemy. Unarmored defense converts our ward to health. This is going to bring us a lot of survivability, and I don't necessarily really need this ward friendship, but we got a point in it. Maximum health restored. 2 points in the mortal battle. Yeah. We're not using Dire Sacrifice. I use that in different Brr-Reaver build. But unfortunately, action skill damage doesn't really scale well in higher chaos levels. But this is one of the best ones for damage. But we need the Reaper bones for this build. Faithful Thralls. Why not? We're throwing the pixies. More pixies, more damage. When a Fate Maker casts a spell, regenerate health for a brief duration. However, as you know, the Buffmeister has a ridiculously long cooldown time, but still this is going to be very useful. I actually don't have any points in Dart Pack, that's through the class mod. Rather the armor, because the armor's class mods of Tina's Wonderlands. Companion Shield, bonus dart magic for duration when killing an enemy. Extra damage, very nice. This is when we get low on health, the Damage Lich will put it back up. Obviously it kills the Damage Lich and it has a 2-minute cooldown. Standard Soul, pixies benefit from that. Dark Hydra plays in this harvest, the Faithful Thrall skill, rather. There's always the dark magic, which won't get the big damage boost of our frost, but it's very nice. These Hydras don't do a lot of damage though, unfortunately. They don't scale well in Chaos 100. Ascension, yeah, this is nice. We want to increase our spell damage, because the Brr-zerker's tree doesn't have any spell damage, so this is real important. Lord of Edges, when we get low on health, damage increases. Not really too necessary, but it's something. Our Blast Gaff, this is very important. You gotta have this skill. And Molheim's Blessing. Casting a spell when we cast the Buffmeister. Again, a little long cooldown, it won't take effect very often, but still, very nice. We have maxed out our strength, because to tell the truth, who doesn't? Brr-zerker power doesn't matter too much. It's the Graveborn power that matters. Guard Magnet Leech. I have not put in the points of dexterity, but 20% extra critical hit chance in my case because I got all the myth ranks. I don't got points in two or the archetype bonuses. Unfortunately, archetype effect puts penalties in these things, but not too big of a deal because the extra strength outweighs the negatives on these. We've maxed out at 2 minutes because of a long cooldown on the action skill, and we put the rest of the points in the Constitution. Even if I didn't put the extra points in the Constitution, we still have good survivability anyway. Actually, great survivability. And yep, I'm gonna end this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.
That's the end of the video. This is Minuteman Matt. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.